Hello there, subscribers. I take it you're here to find out how to do the typed version of my gift. So let's go line by line on how to do that. You probably maybe figured out how to do it if you just read through the original code. But if you hadn't, let's just go through how this works. So we're just going to go ahead and create our SVG. And we're going to take away all this styling just so that we have something easy to deal with. And let's make this 1280 by 360 and say run. Okay, so like inside here, we're going to make a text box. Okay, and inside the text box, we're going to put my name is Roberto, and we're going to run that. Now, the reason you can't see any text is the text is actually outside of the scope of the SVG. So to put it inside the scope of the SVG, we're going to say that the X is 50% to kind of put it in the middle, and the Y is 50%. Oops. Okay, so it's right here in the center. Okay, so we're going to make it a little bit bigger. And so to find out how big we're going to make it, let's go ahead and use the inspecting tool. And we're just going to go through here and put in the style is font size 2 REM and just go up until we get it to where we kind of want it. So that should be fine. 6 REM looks like it's all right. So let's say style equals font size 6 REM. Okay, so now we have it. Now obviously the X is too wide, too pushed over, so let's push this a little bit back, and that's a lot better. Okay, so now we have our text. Now in order to type it, you need to have two things. First, you need to have a path that you're going to type on top of, and you need to create a text path area. Okay, this text path area instructs the code that you're not going to type it out based on the SVG area, but you're going to type it out based on the path. So we're going to put this path here like this. Okay, and now you won't be able to see anything because there's no path here. So let's create a path. So the path is going to be, let's say, let's start at, since we're at 1280 by 360, let's put this at 100 and 180. And then we're just going to go horizontally 600 pixels and see what happens. Oh, we need to put a stroke here. Equals black. Let's just use a black stroke. Let's put a maroon stroke, and then the stroke width, let's make it 3. So now here's our path. Okay, so we want our text to appear on this path. So in order to do that, we need to give our path an ID. Let's call it text path. No, let's call it, we don't want to confuse it, so let's say text line, and then we're going to tell the text path where to draw. So we're going to say xlink href equals text line. Okay, now since these two situations here were for the actual SVG, we had to make it 25% and 50%. But since we want our text to start with our path, we can go ahead and delete this. There you go. And now, as you can see, our path doesn't stretch long enough. So let's make this 600. Let's make this 700 and see if that works. And I got it almost perfectly. Okay. So now that we have our path and we have our text, and we have our text, we can do our animation. So let's go ahead and animate. Okay, so we're going to animate the same thing. We're going to animate this path. So we're going to say, this is our X length here. Copy. So we're going to animate our text line. Okay, this actual path right here. The thing we're going to animate is how wide the line is. Okay, and then we're going to begin right away. We're going to say the duration is, let's say, just 3 seconds. And we're going to go to, so we're going to start from a different number. So we're going to go to this number. So we're going to say copy. And then we're going to say fill freeze so that we make sure that we end where we're supposed to be ending. So that's what all of these mean. So let's review what's happening here. We're saying animate. And what we're going to animate is the actual text line. And this is how we refer to any ID in our SVG. Then after that, we're going to tell it what attribute we need to animate. The attribute we're animating is this D code right here. We can animate anything. We can animate the stroke width. We can animate just about anything. But we're going to animate the D, okay? The data. And so we're going to begin right away. We could begin at any second that we want. Obviously the duration, and this is where we're going to change. We're going to go from 0 because the horizontal line right now is at 700. We're going to go from 0 to 700, and fill freeze is like saying forwards. Animation is forwards in CSS, but instead of saying forwards, we say fill freeze. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we have here. So as it draws our line, we can put this like this, okay? We can erase the line by either saying stroke width 0 or stroke is none. So let's just say stroke is 0 here. Run it. And now it looks like we are actually typing out. And there you have it. If you have any questions, please let me know. And once again, thank you so very much for being a subscriber.